Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Cornix, and welcome to Closet Movie Rambles, where I talk about old movies that I found in my closet while cleaning. This week's movie is the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and it's about 1 hour and 32 minutes, and it starts with Bowser taking the superstar from a group of, like a kingdom of penguins, and then cutting to Mario and Luigi. They're making this commercial, they're watching it on TV because they're open up a plumbing service in Brooklyn. And later they get their first customer, and they have some problems with their dog, the owner's dog, and there's like a water leakage due to that, but they manage somehow. And later Mario and Luigi eat dinner with their family, and later Mario plays Kid Icarus on his Nintendo, which is kind of a cool reference. This movie is full of 8-bit and older Super Nintendo reference as well, which is, as I said, really cool. And then there is like a flood happening in Brooklyn, so the brothers goes to fix it. So they go down into the sewer and they fall into this warp pipe, and Mario and Luigi get separated. So Mario goes to the Mushroom Kingdom where he meets up with Toad, this mushroom kind of guy, and Luigi ends up in the dark world, so Darklands, where he encountered these Koopa Troopas that are basically called dry bones. They're made out of bones and Shy Guys. So Mario gets taken to Princess Peach, where he's tested to if he's really up for it. So there's this obstacle course, and there's a lot of trial and error. Let's just say that. So Mario, Peach, and Toad goes to see the Kongs, the Donkey Kong family, to get the support in the war against Bowser. So they go there, and while this is happening, Bowser is playing the piano and singing. I believe the song is called Peaches, and it's sung by Jack Black. It also voices the Bowser throughout the movie, which he does a really good job, and he's putting out quite a performance, but it gets interrupted. Meanwhile, this is happening. Luigi gets captured and gets taken to Bowser's castle, and then the other party arrive at the Kongs, and they are met up by the ruler Cranky Kong, which was kind of funny, the old grumpy of the Kong. And Mario is forced to fight Donkey Kong in a battle, and he ends up winning after a long battle with power-ups and whatnot, and they get to choose their own cart because, of course, Mario Kart. So they go onto this track and they get ambushed by the Koopas, and the Kongs get captured. And Mario and Donkey Kong ends up beneath the track where they're eaten by this giant eel, and they manage to escape this eel via rocket, I believe, because Donkey Kong has that on his go-kart for some reason. And then Bowser forces Peach to marry him, and they also take them as captives. And then there is a battle, and Mario gets chased by a giant bullet bill, and that leads into a warp pipe that leads back to Brooklyn, and there's this huge explosion that warps everything into the Brooklyn area. So the battle continues, and Mario and Luigi manage to get a hold of the superstar, and they kick Bowser's butt, and they kind of force Bowser to eat one of those tiny mushrooms, so he shrinks down and put him in a little like a little bottle, and that's more or less the happy ending. And the next day they do plumbing in the Mushroom Kingdom, and it ends up with one of the imprisoned, now free Lumas doing a saxophone thing, and after the credits Bowser's doing the singing and the piano play, but it shows like zooming out, and he's still in like this little like bird cage, and it's kind of funny, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. So what do I think about this movie? I think it's a good movie. There has some cool references to older games like Kid Icarus, and they even have like when Mario is getting beat up at the end, he ends up in an arcade where he's leaning up against an old Jumpman game, the old Donkey Kong games. And if you don't know about the 8-bit genre in this arcade, you don't care about it, but I do, so it's like a cool reference. And throughout the movie they have these small nods in the musical to different games in the genre and series of Super Mario, which is also kind of cool. And I think this movie actually is really good, and I think that any of my brothers and sisters' kids will watch it, because even if they don't know who Super Mario is, they will have a fun time watching it, and I had too, so I can definitely recommend it. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.